Laredo is the county seat of Webb County, Texas, United States, located on the north bank of the Rio Grande in South Texas, across from Nuevo Laredo, Tamaulipas, Mexico. According to the 2010 census, the city population was 236,191, making it the 10th most populous city in the state of Texas and third most populated on the United States-Mexican border, after San Diego, California and El Paso, Texas. Its metropolitan area is the 178th largest in the U.S. and includes all of Webb County, with a population of 250,304. Laredo is also part of the cross-border Laredo-Nuevo Laredo metropolitan area with an estimated population of 636,516. Laredo's economy is based on international trade with Mexico. Most major transportation companies have a facility in Laredo. The city's location on the southern end of I-35 close to the manufacturers in northern Mexico promotes its vital role in trade between the two nations. Laredo International Airport is within the Laredo city limits, while the Calcotl International Airport is nearby in Nuevo Laredo on the Mexican side. Laredo has the distinction of flying 7 flags. Founded in 1755, Laredo grew from a village to the capital of the brief Republic of the Rio Grande to the largest inland port on the United States-Mexican border. Today, it has 4 international bridges and 1 railway bridge. Laredo has a professional soccer team, the Heat baseball team, the Laredo Lemurs, and a women's full-contact football team, the Laredo Roses. Texas A&M International University and Laredo Community College are located in Laredo. The biggest festival, Washington's birthday celebration, is held during the entire month of February, attracting hundreds of thousands of tourists. The Jalapeno Festival, Border Beer Fest, Stockman's Ball, Princess Pocahontas Pageant, Mr. South Texas Luncheon, an air show, and 2 major parades are all held in conjunction with the Washington's birthday events. History. The European colonial settlement of Villa de San Agustin de Laredo was founded in 1755 by Don Tomás Sánchez while the area was part of the Nuevo Santander region in the Spanish colony of New Spain. Villa de San Agustin de Laredo was named after Laredo, Cantabria, Spain, and in honor of Saint Augustine of Hippo. In 1840, Laredo was the capital of the independent Republic of the Rio Grande. Set up in opposition to Antonio López de Santa Anna, it was brought back into Mexico by military force. In 1846, during the Mexican-American War, the town was occupied by the Texas Rangers. After the war, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ceded the land to the United States. A referendum was taken in the town, which voted to petition the American military government in charge of the area to return the town to Mexico. When this petition was rejected, most of the population, who were Tejano and had been in the area for generations, moved across the river into Mexican territory, where they founded Nuevo Laredo. In 1849, the United States Army set up Fort McIntosh. Laredo was rechartered as a city in 1852. Laredo is one of the oldest crossing points along the U.S.-Mexico border, and the nation's largest inland port of entry. In 2005, Laredo celebrated the 250th anniversary of its founding. The origin of name of the original Spanish town of Laredo is unclear. Some scholars say the name stems from Glaritum, which means sandy, rocky place. Others state that Laredo stems from a Basque word meaning beautiful pastures. Laredo might also stem from the Latin larida, which means gull. In 1954, Laredo faced a devastating Rio Grande flood, when the water reached 61.35 feet, more than 10 feet higher than in the previous 1932 flood, which had also caused great damage. According to Laredo historian Jerry D. Thompson of Texas A&M International University, The 1954 flood was the largest in 91 years and the second largest according to archaeological records in the last 300 years. Many were left homeless for a time because of the calamity. Former Webb County Administrative Judge Mercurio Martinez, Jr., recalls that his father surveyed the depth of the water and advised residents to evacuate. Several downtown businesses had to remove their merchandise inventory or risk losing it to the rising waters. The flood caused the relocation of the Holding Institute. The International Bridge was destroyed when it was struck by the floating railroad bridge, which had been hit by the debris of another bridge in Eagle Pass up the river. Photos of the flood by Teofilo Esquivel, Sr., are on the wall of a Danny's restaurant on McPherson Avenue in Laredo. In 2013, Laredo ranked 10th in Texas in the rate of violent crime, with 430.9 crimes per 100,000 inhabitants. Highest in ranking was Odessa, with 806.4 violent crimes per unit. The second most dangerous city was also in West Texas. Lubbock had 658 crimes per 100,000 persons. The other border cities of El Paso, McAllen, and Brownsville ranked 13th, 18th, and 24th, respectively. The city with the highest murder rate in Texas was Beaumont, Port Arthur, with a rating of 8.6, compared to Laredo's 1.5. Geography. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 79.6 square miles, of which 78.5 square miles of it is land and 1.1 square miles of it is water. Location: Laredo is located on the west end of the Rio Grande Plains, south of the Edwards Plateau, west of the Coastal Plains, and east of the Mexican Mountains. The area consists of a few hills and flat land covered with grass, oak, and mesquite. Bodies of water. Notable geographic features are the Rio Grande and Chacon Creek's man-made reservoir, Lake Casablanca. In Lake Casablanca International State Park, the lake is 371 acres of land and 1,650 acres of water. There are 6 major creeks: Chacon Creek, San Ildefonso Creek, San Ignacio Creek, Santa Isabel Creek, Sombrerito Creek, and Zacate Creek, all of which drain into the Rio Grande. Several man-made reservoirs include the San Ildefonso Creek Lake, and the Sombrerito Creek Lake. Nearby cities. Climate: Laredo's climate is semi-arid with hot temperatures in the summer and mild temperatures during the winter. The climate is considered to be hot semi-arid. Its weather is affected by the Sierra Madre Oriental Mountains to the west, the Gulf of Mexico to the east, and the Chihuahuan Desert of northern Mexico and West Texas. Moisture from the Pacific is cut off by the Mexican mountain range. Because of its geographic location, Laredo's weather can range from long periods of heat to sudden, violent storms in a short period of time. Laredo winters are cold by South Texas standards, with average daytime highs of approximately 66 degrees Fahrenheit and average overnight lows of 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Although snowfall is rare in Laredo, snow was recorded on Christmas morning 2004 and in February 2011. Laredo experiences an average high temperature of about 101 degrees Fahrenheit, and an average low of about 75 degrees Fahrenheit during summer, and 22 inches of rain per year. As Laredo sometimes undergoes drought, a water conservation ordinance was implemented in 2003. Demographics. As of the 2010, Laredo is the 81st most populous city in the United States and the 10th largest in Texas. According to the 2010 census, there were 236,091 inhabitants in the city. According to the 2010 U.S. Census, the racial composition of Laredo was as follows: whites, 87.7%. Black or African American, 0.5%, Native American, 0.4%, Asian, 0.6%, Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander, 0.00%, 2 or more races, 1.5%. Other races 9.3%. Ethnically, the city was Hispanic or Latino 95.6%. According to respondents' self-identification on the 2010 census, the vast majority of Laredo's population is ethnically Hispanic, with 95.6%. Some 4.4% of the population was non-Hispanic, Latino and 0.1% of two or more races. In the 2005 estimate, there were 99,675 males and 108,112 females. The average household contained 3.69 occupants. The population density was 2,250.5 people per square mile. There were a total of 60,816 households, of which 56,247 or 92.5% were occupied. 33,832 were owner-occupied units and 22,415 were renter-occupied units. 62.0% were married couples living together, 18.7% had a female householder with no husband present, and 14.7% were non-families. 12.7% of all households were made up of individuals and 5.2% had someone living there alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 3.69 and the average family size was 4.18. The city's population is 35.5% under the age of 18, 11.4% from 18 to 24, 29.5% from 25 to 44, 15.8% from 45 to 64, and 7.8% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 27 years. For every 100 females there were 92.2 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 87.2 males. The median income for a household in the city was $32,019, and the median income for a family was $32,577. The per capita income for the city was $12,269. 29.2% of families were below the poverty line. According to the United States Census Bureau, at a 2000 census, Laredo was the second fastest growing city in the United States, after a study released in 2015 by the Martin Prosperity Institute of the University of Toronto in Canada showed Laredo as the most economically segregated, smaller metro area in the United States. The wealthy tend to congregate in enclaves and gated communities, such as Plantation, Regency, Lakeside, Winfield, and Alexander estates. Most of the poor inhabit neighborhoods known for overall and long-standing poverty, particularly in the southern portion of the city. Mayor Pete Syons, however, said development is underway downtown and in the Heights neighborhood, once the city's most affluent residential area. There are no de facto Anglo and African American neighborhoods. The second and third cities cited in the study are Jackson, Tennessee, and El Paso, Texas. Economy. Laredo has 4 South Texas banking institutions based in the city: Falcon International Bank, International Bank of Commerce, BBVA Compass, and Texas Community Bank. Laredo is the largest inland port in the United States, and Nuevo Laredo the largest in Latin America. This is due to their respective locations, served by Interstate Highway 35, Mexican Federal Highway 85. The effects of the North American Free Trade Agreement, dozens of twin assembly plants on the Mexican side, and dozens of import-export agencies to expedite trade. In January 2014, the Laredo Customs District processed $20 billion in two-way trade with Mexico, about half that for the entire U.S. with Mexico for the month. Laredo is a shopping destination for Mexican shoppers from northern Mexico. In 2015, the San Antonio Express News reported that the number of Mexican shoppers has declined due to drug war-related violence in Nuevo Laredo. Trade: more than 47% of United States international trade headed for Mexico, and more than 36% of Mexican international trade crosses through the Laredo port of entry. Laredo's economy revolves around commercial and industrial warehousing, import, and export. As a major player in international trade, the Laredo area benefited from passage of the North American Free Trade Agreement, which has encouraged trade. The Laredo port of entry consists of 4 international bridges crossing the Rio Grande into the Mexican states of Tamaulipas and Nuevo León. Retail sales attract shoppers from northern Mexico and South Texas. There is one indoor shopping mall located in Laredo, Mall del Norte. A proposed project is the outlet shops at Laredo, and another has not progressed past planning. Laredo Town Center, part of downtown redevelopment. There are dozens of shopping centers. The Streets of Laredo Urban Mall is an association created by businesses on Iturbide Street in the San Agustin Historical District to beautify and renovate the area, which has a pedestrian scale. Mall del Norte, 1,198,199 square feet. The outlet shops at Laredo, 380,000 square feet, owned by Horizon Group Properties, will open late in 2016 with as many as 77 stores, including Banana Republic, Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors, Brooks Brothers, Oshkosh B'Gosh, Old Navy, New York & Company, and K Jewelers. Streets of Laredo Urban Mall. Labor market information. As of October 2007, Laredo's labor market was in the following industries by percentage of number employed: trade, transportation, and utilities, information, financial activity, professional and business services, education and health services, leisure and hospitality, government, mining and construction, manufacturing, and other services. Laredo has increased the number of non-agricultural jobs from 55,100 in January 1996 to 86,600 in October 2007. Laredo has had a higher job growth rate than the state as a whole because of expanded international trade through the North American Free Trade Agreement. In 2007, Laredo experienced a job growth rate of 2.5%. As of October 2007, the Laredo unemployment rate was 4.1%, or 3,700 unemployed persons, as compared to 3.9% in Texas statewide. This is a significant drop since the mid-1990s, when Laredo's unemployment was over 15%. Laredo has had positive job market growth since the mid-1990s. Setbacks in the mining industry shifted a few thousand workers to other industries, such as international trade and construction. Many large employers in the oil and gas industries shut down operations in Laredo and across Texas, and shifted to foreign countries. The same effect occurred in the garment industry along the Texas border area. Laredo lost its only garment-producing company, costing the jobs of about 300 workers. Laredo's strong job growth rate in retail and transportation services limited the adverse effects of long-term unemployment from the few massive layoffs of the late 1990s. Laredo's success with international trade is also a vulnerability. It is dependent on changes to Mexico's economy, that status of immigration laws, and terrorism. In 2014, according to the financial research company NerdWallet, Laredo had the worst pay for women of any city in the United States, with a large gender gap. An average annual salary of $24,700 for women, compared to nearly $35,000 for men. The gender pay gap in Laredo increased 25% between 2007 and 2012. Only the wealthy city of Frisco in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex had a greater pay gap within Texas than did Laredo. According to census reports, Laredo has a 30% rate of poverty. Laredo households headed by women with children under the age of 18 have a 51% poverty rate. By contrast, the San Jose, California, area, the heart of the tech industry, has an average pay of $56,000, ranking first nationally.